Hello, this is a little bit submerged mangrove forest, not far away from a mouth of Nishte River. This is a famous place because this is one of the largest mangroves forest in Japan. And that forest located on Iriamote Island, very southern island, like a 24 latitude, very close to the North Tropic, so almost tropical. And this is a branch of Barringtonia. Barringtonia has two species on Riamota, bigger Barringtonia asiatica and slightly smaller but more attractive in the flowering time, Barringtonia racemosa. This is Barringtonia racemosa, and well, it's one of wonders when it flowers in the summertime because flowers are in long hanging clusters, really attractive, especially if you make like a kayaking under these crowns of flowering trees. But even today, it's very funny because this tree typically considered as a coastal one and not like a strict mangroves. By strict mangroves, I mean that plants sometimes develop adaptations to grow in mangrove ecological conditions, which are like a mixture of salt and fresh water, tight, and also extremely muddy soil. So these plants, Barringtonia, belong to family Lycididaceae, very interesting tropical family. One of the most kind of easiest character to observe are very large leaves and very interesting, unusual flowers, very diverse. Barringtonia, by the way, has been separated in its own family from time to time because it has like tetragonal ovary, unusual for many of Lycididaceae. And these plants, Barringtonia in that case, have fruits, like tetragonal shaped fruits, which are floating in the water. But this is kind of general adaptation to be distributed with sea currents. So it's not exactly adaptation to be a mangrove. But here, today is January 26. I discovered very strange thing. If you look on this water, and that part of forest is covered only with a little amount of water, like about few centimeters, you can see aerial roots. So Barringtonia is likely developing vertically growing roots. Vertically growing roots is adaptation to be a strict mangrove. So looks like this plant stays in between plants which are simply growing on the seashore and also plants which are adapted to grow exclusively in mangrove forest. This species actually, if it found the land which is drier than this one, it will very well grow on this land as well. But pneumatophores are very interesting. So pneumatophores is kind of ventilation shafts for the root system. Normally, when plant is submerged for a long time, oxygen in the soil is practically absent. So environment inside the soil is anoxic. However, roots will need to have a respiration like we are. So they need oxygen. And to make oxygen available, these vertically growing roots provide kind of ventilation for the root system. And how to develop these vertical roots, it's an open question, but I believe this kind of, well, very strict mechanism which makes roots to grow down. So they are geotropic. And if any cell mechanism will reverse that, roots start to be, well, negatively geotropic. So will grow, well, on the other side, towards the sun, towards the air. And in that case, they start to be ventilated because the cover of the root, the surface, is kind of, well, spongy. And oxygen and many other gases can more or less easy go through that surface. So this is a sense of having small vertical roots. They are very small in that case, so probably they don't persist for a long time. But anyway, it's very interesting to see ventilation roots in Lycididaceae family in a species which is more or less attached to grow in mangroves, also on seashores, in Barringtonia racemosa, attractive plant which grows on island Iriamote. And today again is January 26. Thank you.